Good evening, TPI team. Welcome to the Friday edition of Open Office with the Success team. It's nice to see you guys. I hope you guys have a lovely planned weekend activity this weekend. Maybe you're getting out in the nice Florida heat if you're local to Florida with us. But today's open office is going to be mainly themed about accounting stuff. We have touched on accounting before in one of our previous videos. We did that with Sandra Leese. So if you haven't checked that one out yet, please go ahead and do so. It's all linked on the same playlist. So you'll be able to find it the same location that you would have found this one. But this is going to be mainly an open office for you guys. So please, 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 if you think you have a silly question that may not be related to today's topic, please take this time to ask. I do not mind. We're largely going to be covering some of the same stuff that we talked about in our previous one, which is going to be mainly on the commissions tab of TPI Suitcase. Just a couple of housekeeping items here at the top of the stream. No, we do not have an update for the interim statements right at this moment. For those of you guys who have not gotten into your TPI Suitcases account yet, and haven't gotten the chance to explore around, you will notice that the report builder feature is not enabled in the new system. That is not a glitch. That is something that has been disabled and is not ready for you guys yet. But it is being worked on alongside interim, which are priority number one for our programming team as well as us at TPI. We hear you. We completely understand how vital it is to you guys to see your business and to see how you guys are doing. And it is something that's being worked on as we speak, but we want to make sure we're giving you guys accurate information before we launch it to you guys. That is the most important thing. There was a new email that was debuted, I believe, last night, and I'll grab that, with a new inbox that I believe it's Jen and Dennis, I could be wrong though, are monitoring to get you guys your statements a little bit quicker. The other option, if you are not getting a response from there, is the accounting team as well. They are also there to help you guys retrieve that information. So they can be reached at accounting@tpionline.com, and I'll put that up here. And as soon as I have that other email, I will put it in the chat as well for those
I
of
know it.
you. Oh, go ahead, Dory. Tag.
It is Suitcase Reports
Suitcase
at
reports.
tpionline.com.
All right, and I'll put that in the comments.
So if you need your interim report, if you want a report on all of your unpaid bookings, just let them know what type of report you're looking for. You can request it as many times as you need to.
Right.
And so we wanted to have that dedicated Suitcase Reports at tpionline.com, so that you're not getting lost in the shuffle of accounting tickets or
Right.
just because we know this is such a huge pain point for you guys.
Right.
And it's a pain point for us as well, because we want you to have your reports and we don't want to have to do that manually. So we are
Right.
obviously just as invested in finding a solution for that, for you guys, because it does add a lot of work to us, but we don't mind because we got to find small solutions, fixes, workarounds while we wait for everything to get fixed. So,
Right. Yeah. And like Dory was saying, it's important for us to get you that information. So whether it's from that email or from accounting, please don't hesitate to reach out. They are happy to help in any way that we can. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this kicked off and show my screen. In the meantime, Dory, as always, if there's anything that you've personally seen or you'd like to share that's updated, please feel free to do so.
yeah, one frequent thing, or question or confusion as far as unclaimed bookings, again, just to clarify, when you go to claim it first, you do have to go ahead and submit a sale. To be able to then, when you go claim, you'll be able to select that to link it to it, because nothing exists. Because if it did exist, they'd know who to give it to. So they need some sort of sale in there to attach it to for you to be able to choose off of the drop down list. So that's a common thing. People are just hitting claim and then they can't find the reservation. It's because there's no reservation title that has been created to link to it. So
Right.
that would be one I know has been a common thing. Another common thing is that their unpaid bookings are still, you might be seeing a lot of old bookings from like, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Right.
There's a way to sort, which we can go over so that you're only seeing the newer ones first. Because I did have a question about that today. They don't want to have to go down the whole list to try to find. So you can sort by date, which will help kind of organize that a bit. We keep getting asked if we can, get these things removed. We are not doing anything with removing stuff, especially things that had been migrated over, because we don't want, we need to protect the integrity of that data. Even if it's displaying wonky to you, it isn't in the back end to us. So we don't want to start going in and deleting and messing up, and then all of a sudden they do a reset fix or something, and now all of that's there. We wasted time. We don't want to mess with it. So if you,
Right.
I know it's not ideal. It's frustrating to see things you don't want to see on there. At least you're seeing things. That's good. But um, we just, we are not going to be removing a bunch of old things. You might see
Yeah.
things that you have already been paid for. We know that these are happening. Just ignore it if you can, for your own mental health. Pretend like they're not there and just wait out this migration thing until everything is showing correctly. I do hear every single day people are like, oh, this one little part is now showing something.
Right.
So the fixes are happening. They're just not the big, massive, all at one time fixes that we would love to see.
Right.
But
Right. And we have heard that, it is completely up to you whether or not, when you're doing quick submit specifically, guys, I've heard pretty frequently that for advisors that think it did not submit, it in fact did submit, so it leads to a bunch of duplicates. Only click that button once, guys. It may look like it's loading forever. Don't click submit and new, duplicate, or exit more than one time per submission, because if not, that's exactly what leads to the duplicates on your all reservation, where now you're having to go back and kind of clean it up when that wasn't your intention originally. So definitely only click that. And if you ever needed to delete or void out a booking that would have happened to, just make sure that you're going into the all reservations tab, because you can't do that for the quotes and invoices tab either. You have to go to the all reservations to click on the reservation and then to click on edit to do whichever you need to do within that booking.
yeah, and
Um,
I've noticed that I call them false errors. I don't know if that's the technical term.
right,
But if you get errors that pop up, most of the time from what I've seen, it has actually worked. So I've seen it in clients. It happened to me on a session today, but then it was there, even though it said there was an error. So most of the time,
right,
when you're getting these errors, we know that these are happening. It actually, I found out, I could be wrong, but then it sends something to uh, the programmers or somebody on the back end that errors are happening. Is that correct? I don't want to misspeak.
to my knowledge, yes, they get some kind of notification when these error messages are happening within the system. So they get that information reported. It's just a matter of how quickly they can resolve it, and if it actually needs any, interaction
Manual.
with them,
Yeah.
right? If it's just something that was, because we've seen error messages, guys, pop up for something, as simple as you missing a middle name. That we're not on that side, so we don't know for sure how that looks for them, but that may also send an additional thing to them, which kind of further bogs down why everything is getting fixed at such an extended time period, because we don't know. We don't have this information, so I definitely don't know how that looks for them. I would highly, highly recommend just basic troubleshooting steps when you encounter these issues. So that's your logging in and logging out. Because I've seen even where it gives me this false error where I'm just logged out of the system. I timed out. Um, Trying a different browser. So we've heard some advisors that have difficulty with Safari, for example. I've heard pretty frequently that some sizing differences may cause some wonky things to happen. So that's another step two. And then, of course, the last and most tedious, in my opinion, which is clearing your cache and cookies. It doesn't hurt to try that, to see if that may also resolve anything. And if it does, fantastic. If not, you can absolutely reach out to us with the error message. The screenshot would be even better. And then we can absolutely either hop on a one-on-one call with you guys. We can, see what's exactly happening with your screen to see if we can help you, which you can reach out to us as well. So the success team at tpionline.com. Just make sure in the subject it's one on one. So whether it's the numbers one or one dash on dash one, whichever way you want to do, so that we're able to immediately identify those in the ticket system to get you that booking link as quickly as possible so we can get to you guys as quickly as possible. And I know we've spent a lot of time on error messages and keeping you guys posted, but I think there is some value in it. So we can go ahead and get started on some of the things that we've encountered with the accounting, um, we'll say, side. Jonita from TPI, she is the accounting manager, is going to be hopefully hopping in through the chat. If there are any questions at all, guys, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments. If we don't have the answer, we'll get you the answer either through an email or a side message, however we need to get it to you. But without further ado, one thing that I would definitely say has come up as well kind of frequently, and I'm going to have to zoom out just a little bit, is this unclaimed commissions tab. An error that we've seen, at least on my end, I'm not sure if you've seen it recently, Dory, is when you go into claim, and sometimes depending on what you've entered in for the other reservation, when you do either do a quick submit before claiming or the long form, is if this reservation has a lot, let's see if I can find the
Mm,
wrong one. Maybe it's this one, where it can't have more than 100 characters in it. Um, it will give you an error message, and I don't know if I can replicate it just because I don't have this confirmation number. However,
mhm.
it is something that's been reported, guys. IT is aware of it, the programmers are aware of it. They're working in the back end to see how they can fix it. But if for any reason you're having issues claiming your unclaimed commissions, please enlist the assistance of the accounting team. They can help you and guide you with how to best proceed. And if they need any documentation from you, or if they could just, whatever they can do on their end to help you out with, they would be your best point of contact. And I shared that with you guys in the banner earlier. I can do that again. It's just accounting at tpionline.com. They are going to be your best resource for anything and everything commission. So that would be your interim statements, that would be statements as a whole. Um, and Jonita
Looking
has
up
joined us.
claims. Yeah.
Right. Hi, Jonita. So she says you can use the quick commission inquiry found under forms as well, guys. So that can also help you get some assistance there, which can be found. Let me show you guys.
And there are no fees associated that has been, we will let you know if that fee, the $15 fee for looking up a sale, that is not being implemented right now. So
Right.
please, don't worry about that.
Then this is the form right here, guys. So it would be under forms, which some of you may have to scroll down on this bar. It can be a little difficult if you're on a laptop or on a mobile device, but it is doable. Just one of those things that you're going to have to do, or zoom out by either pressing in your browser settings or control the dash or the plus to resize your screen. But it would just be under forms. It's the second one down. And this is what that looks like. And for those of you that are not new, this is the exact same as what I believe was in the previous system. And Jonita did confirm correct, no fees associate to any claimed commissions at this time.
And we
And
will
that's
give you plenty of warning before that does get instituted again. So it won't be like a random, now we're charging fees today. Yeah,
right,
we'll give you plenty of warning to make sure you can get your stuff in, so that you're not caught off guard there.
right. Yeah, absolutely. And I will go back. Let's see what else we can. Claims pending versus unclaimed bookings, guys. So the biggest difference, claims pending is going to be for your unclaimed commissions. That's the ones that you are submitting right here. Nothing else. These are not your submitted sales and pending bookings. That would be under unpaid bookings. So that's going to pick up from, and this is also an area where we've had a lot of reports where it could be outdated. There could be some that are personal travel marked as false, is one that I've heard pretty frequently when it could be personal travel. We've heard some of them
Weird
that
numbers.
right,
Yeah.
weird numbers. Some have already been paid, um, different dates on them. We've heard that this specific section, guys, can look strangely. It is not something that is immediately fixable. It's part of, kind of getting that data routed to the correct areas, which the third party team as well as our programmers are working on as we speak. There is no ETA on when all of that will be completed. But once more information is known, Jen will hop on a live. She'll pass that information on to you guys if we have the information. Keep an eye out for the employee navigator, or excuse me, not the employee navigator, the TPI navigator that comes out, I believe, every Friday. I could be incorrect about that, or Tuesday. For some reason, Tuesday came to me.
I have
But
no
that'll
idea.
be another location where that kind of information will be passed on to you guys. There's even a suitcase update newsletter that kind of comes out pretty frequently now. So any method of keeping posted is there for you guys. Um, and let me see. So one of the
And
other things,
just also, just to
go
piggyback
ahead.
on that, even though those issues are happening, you are going to get paid what we get paid. If,
Right,
no matter what numbers, if you haven't been able to update a payment on one of your submissions that came over, because things that migrated over are not showing to be editable.
right.
Yes, I said it right. Right now. So thank you. Little wins, little wins. So I can say editable. No. Sorry, it's Friday. We're tired. Um, but you will get paid accurately. So just because this is showing wonky, it is not impacting anybody's ability to get paid correctly. As long as you have been able to submit the sale, even if the expected commission, the numbers don't match up, you're going to get paid what we get paid. I do
Right.
see a question on
Yes.
the screen.
Sherry
First,
said,
yes, go.
what does false mean? So false, Sherry, means just what you see on the right hand most column. Personal travel. So if you have any bookings that you yourself are on the confirmation for, whether it's thank you, Jonita. False means that it's not personal travel. So if you marked it off as personal travel, either in the previous system or in this one, it would typically show true for those that are personal travel. Um, it is not right now. We were just talking about that we've heard frequent reports from advisors that some of the bookings that they had as personal travel in the old system did not transfer over and don't show as personal travel in the new system. They are aware. So it's completely okay. Right. Thank you, Jonita.
Okay.
So if it was a personal travel bookings that we approved, it would show as true. So not until they approve then. Is that correct, Jonita, if I understand that?
But we have heard that a lot that were approved in the old system are showing as false now, but that they're still being paid out correctly.
Right. That is true. And thank you, Sherry, for your question. Um, and that's also going to be the case for anything that's submitted in the new system. So for those of you that are brand new to us and have no information in the system, this will obviously be blank for you guys until you start entering in some reservations. So if I'm not mistaken, it'll show something along these lines where it says no one paid, no one paid, no one paid. That's okay. It's just not picking up on anything yet. You haven't put anything in the system yet. So that being said, if you ever wanted to, similar to how this whole system works when you don't want to see some specific um, columns, you can click this eyeball on the left-hand side, and I'll zoom in as much as I can so you guys are able to see that. But it's a little eyeball. You're going to click on this, and then it'll do a drop-down menu of different columns that you're able to show or hide. You guys can get absolutely crazy with this if you want to. They're not gone forever, I promise. They are just hidden from your view. So if you don't sell groups, if you don't care about the partner, if you don't care about the disembark date, or maybe what client it is, you can shorten it down so you're able to see more information from, the scroll bar that's a little bit farther off to the right hand side. As you can see, you do have to apply that to all of these. So just giving you a heads up with that. If you wanted to view it in a different way, you can also do calendar, you can do timeline, you can do, it's either Kanban or Kanban. And it gives you a bunch of different criteria to be able to show for that. Um, this is what it should look like. So all of your active unpaid cruise bookings. And it's nice that you don't have to change all of them to that too.
I did not know. See, I learned something new
The
every
more you know.
time. You
I
can
miss you,
also, do
Irene.
you want to show them how to sort by date?
Yes.
And then Jonita has confirmed that it is correct. All bookings from 1.0 that were previously approved did come over as such and will be paid at 100%. Any newly submitted bookings, once approved, will show as true for that personal booking false true thing. So they're going to show as false if they were approved and migrated over. That's a known thing, has not impacted the payment of it. I know it's confusing. We want to make it look right. But I promise that's a known thing. So, but anything new that you have submitted should say true. So if new ones that you're doing personal bookings, personal travel, if they're not showing as true, let us know, please. We
Yeah.
have another
So
question.
Donna, if you would like, just go ahead and reach out to the accounting team for some more information on that. Because if you have any questions about any specific commissions and tracking it down, they would be the ones to ask.
Yeah,
So
they can do
definitely
research.
right. And that's going to be the accounting at tpionline.com. And I'll send your information over to Jonita to get back to or be on the look for as well. But thank you for the question slash
Yeah,
comment.
and please let us know if let accounting know if you do see things like that because they'll be able. There you go.
Thank you, Jonita. Alrighty, guys. So and correct me if I'm wrong. You said the date, right? So it's
Yeah.
for
So
this.
like, if they're seeing ones from 2018 and they don't want to, I mean, you're
Yeah,
still going to have them on there, but you can sort it so that it shows the newer ones first,
right. And that's
just
just
like
by
that.
clicking the drop down. There's a little caret mark here,
Or
guys.
you can just actually click on the whole word. I think I could
Let's
be
see.
wrong.
It has the
Yeah.
drop down, but that could just be for that specific
Okay.
column. But
Gotcha.
yes, that's here. Further sorting it out for you guys so you are able to find the ones that you need to find. But there's also a search function up here. So if you know which reservation specifically, if you know who maybe it was prepared for if you want to see it, down to which client, what the group number would be, what the partner would be. This is all searchable here, and there's even more. So this is just a small little pop-up for a very robust search engine um, that'll help you locate any of the bookings that you may need to locate. We have heard that there are certain advisors that are still missing some information. We are aware of it. Our IT team is also aware of it. Um, so they're going to be still looking into each of your individual accounts to see what's happening. But overall, it still may be syncing, especially depending on if this is your first time accessing the system. Period. There is that syncing period where your information is still transferring over from the old system, but it will happen. The data is safe. It's a display issue. It is not a lack of data information issue. It's there, and that's kind of why we keep saying that you guys are going to get paid as long as it was placed in the system, in the old system before the transfer happened, or if you're actively submitting it in the new system, that information is still being transmitted over to the accounting team, which is great because, again, the goal and the objective is to get you guys paid no matter what. So if you run into any situations where the opposite were to happen, or if you need some more information about a commission, please reach out to them. You are not a bother. This is, a partnership with you guys, so we want to equip you with the information that we are able to get to you guys.
Yeah, and one other thing though is, having incomplete data is a known issue. However, if you open up reservations and it's 100% blank, and you know that you had things in there, you should not have any section that is 100%. So, like, if all of your clients are completely gone and missing,
Right.
or all of your reservation, there's not one invoice, not one quote, it's completely blank, definitely reach out to us, because
Right.
it's not attaching to the correct email type of thing, where they
Right.
actually have to manually make sure your client list is attached to the correct. And we've seen this a lot with people that change their emails. Once they made that change, IT has to go in manually and assign every single page and element to the correct email.
Right.
So it's not just we changed your email, now here's your new login. They have to do like a 6-step process to make sure all your data is attached to the correct email manually. So if you are missing complete data, we definitely want to know that. If it's incomplete and you see some stuff or some things look weird we don't need you to necessarily reach out to us for those things, because we know that that's a known issue. It's a mass issue. But if you're completely blank on a page, and there should be some things there, please definitely reach out to us and we can get you some help there.
Yeah. And that brings us to about time, guys. So thank you, as always, for your patience with
Thanks,
us.
Donna.
Yes. Thanks, Donna. Thank you, everybody, for interacting with the comments. Thank you for putting your questions and concerns in there. We are open to receiving that feedback. We are open to receiving those questions. That's the goal of this open office, is to reach more of you in a quicker format. We also have the chat. We also have our inbox that's listed right down here. It's successteam@tpionline.com. Should you want to do a one-on-one session, where you can get some of your questions if you're not comfortable with asking those questions in this live format. There is no such thing as a silly question. If you're just getting started, we have our amazing onboarding specialist, Christine Rios, that joined the team not too long ago. She is so patient. Oh my goodness. I only aspire to be as patient as she is, but she is amazing for those of you that are newly joined us. You've come to us at a very interesting time. But we are happy to have you. We are happy to have those of you who continue to show us patience. And we are happy to receive and help as much as humanly possible. So don't be shy. We are here to help. Sherry, we love her too. She's amazing.
She is
We're so
amazing.
lucky to have her. But thank you all. Have a wonderful, relaxing weekend. I hope you all get some rest. And Dory, thank you for always being my partner in crime on this. And I will see you sometime soon.
Yay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.